In this video, you are going to discover how to access restricted websites by changing your IP address with your Internet Service Provider, also known as your ISP. Hello, welcome to my video series on how to access restricted websites online fast, even if you have tried everything. In this video, we are going to look at a free way of accessing restricted websites by changing your IP address with your ISP. Hello, my name is Neil and thank you for dropping by. If you like my channel and you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe and smash that bell icon below to be notified on further videos that I have got coming up on keeping your device private, secure and safe. In this video, you are going to learn about 4 ways of changing your IP address with your ISP. And also, you're going to learn about the limitations of changing your IP address with your ISP. Later in this video, I am going to tell you about an extra way of accessing restricted websites. So make sure that you stay until the end. Let's look at the first way of changing your IP address with your ISP. The chances are your ISP will allocate dynamic IP addresses to you rather than a static IP address. That means that if you reboot your router, you may get a new IP address. When you reboot your router, you may have to leave your router switched off overnight or longer, but you should get a new IP address when you do that. If you find that when you've tried this method, your IP has not changed, then the second method, which I'm going to tell you about now, may work. It may be the case that even though your IP address is dynamic, it is tied to the MAC address of your router. So what that means is when you switch your router off overnight, because you switch the same router back on with the same MAC address, you will still have the same IP address. If you don't know what a MAC address is, it's a unique identifier that network devices have, which is what your router is. It's a bit like a unique serial number. If your IP address is dynamic and is tied to your MAC address, then it may be the case that by changing your router, you will probably get a new IP address. If you decide to change your router, then it is also probably a good idea to be disconnected from the internet overnight to reduce the chances of getting the same IP address when you switch on your new router. If neither of these 2 ways work, then you could try this third method. If you have a static IP address or you don't want to change the router, you could ask your ISP to change your IP address. If none of the methods that I have talked about so far work, you could change to a different ISP. If you do change to a new ISP, you may find you get a faster connection speed at a lower price as an additional bonus. If the reason you want to change your IP address is to be able to privately go on the internet without your ISP knowing which sites you have visited, then later in this video series, I talk about ways of doing that. So do listen to the other videos that I've created. If you want to change your IP address to anonymize your IP address often, also keep watching because I will talk about ways of doing that later in this video series. In a moment, I'm going to talk about the additional way of accessing restricted content. But before I do, if you like this video, a thumbs up would be appreciated. Otherwise, please subscribe so you can give me a thumbs up in the future and smash the bell icon below to be notified on further videos that I have got coming up on keeping your devices private, secure and safe. Another way that you can access restricted websites is by using a web proxy. If you would like to know more about using a web proxy to access restricted content, then you are going to love the next video where you can learn more about it. The link to the next video is about to appear on the screen. Thank you for watching.